Bond is back. What am I talking about? James Bond has never been away. Like the Royal Mint, he's always with us, coining money. What I mean, of course, is that Sean Connery is back as tough, laconic, randy old 007, dealing with international criminals and amorous women with equal aplomb. And I'll be talking to him later on. Mr. Connery first created the screen Bond in Dr. No in 1962, when he was 32. He last played the part in Diamonds Are Forever in 1971, and now, 12 years later, here he is once more in Never Say Never Again. A little thicker as to the waistline, a little more grizzled as to the toupee, but otherwise, as you can see for yourselves in this scene, pretty much unchanged. Ah, what a man. Now, before we take a closer look at Never Say Never Again, let's consider the tortuous path that took Sean Connery to the role of James Bond in the first place. He was born in 1930 in a tenement in Edinburgh, served briefly in the Navy, then drifted into a variety of odd jobs as a coalman, a lifeguard and a dancehall bouncer.
Es ist dem Feind gelungen, die Front in breiter Formation zu durchbrechen. Im Süden hat der Gegner Zossen genommen und stößt auf Stahnsdorf vor. Der Feind operiert jetzt am nördlichen Stadtrand zwischen Frohnau und Pankow, und im Osten ist der Feind bis zur Linie Lichtenberg-Marsdorf-Karlshorst gelangt.
Mit dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Mein Führer, Steiner
konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren. Der Angriff Steiner ist nicht erfolgt.
Well, all this is a pretty long way from the suave, sybaritic world of James Bond and the Secret Service, but the lad was getting there. Again in 1961, he provided a salutary reminder that he could act a bit when he appeared on TV with Claire Bloom in Anna Karenina.
Backtracking, it's a long way back. Well, I stopped mainly because the films escalated, got longer and longer, became more and more difficult to legislate in time. They got more and more hardware, and the producers were frightfully greedy.
All that being so, what made you come back again?
Well, it's another sort of convoluted story. I was in Almeria finishing The Wind and the Lion, and Kevin McClory said, came to see me. Kevin was the one who'd won the lawsuit against Fleming originally to have the rights to do Thunderball. And he said that after 10 years, the rights reverted back to him, and he knew I wasn't interested in playing the part, but would I consider writing a screenplay with Len Dayton? And that appealed to me, so I said, sure. I worked with Len over a period of, I don't know, 4 months, 6 months nearly.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I'm putting together a special team. And I need me 8 soldiers. 8 Jewish American soldiers. Now, y'all might have heard rumors about the Armada happening soon. Well, we'll be leaving a little earlier. We're gonna be dropped into France, dressed as civilians. Once we're in enemy territory, as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're gonna be doing one thing, and one thing only. Killing Nazis. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I sure as hell didn't come down from the goddamn Smoky Mountains, cross 5,000 miles of water, fight my way through half of Sicily, and jump out of a fucking airplane to teach the Nazis lessons in humanity. Nazi ain't got no humanity. They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating, mass-murdering maniac, and they need to be destroyed. That's why any and every sumbitch we find wearing a Nazi uniform, they're gonna die. Now, I'm the direct descendant of the mountain man Jim Bridger. That means I got a little engine in me. And our battle plan will be that of an Apache resistance. We will be cruel to the Germans. through our cruelty, they will know who we are. And they will find the evidence of our cruelty in the disemboweled, dismembered, and disfigured bodies of their brothers we leave behind us. And the German won't be able to help themselves. But imagine the cruelty their brothers endured at our hands, and our boot heels, and the edge of our knives. And the German will be sickened by us. And the German will talk about us. And the German will fear us. And when the German closes their eyes at night, and they're tortured by their subconscious for the evil they have done, it will be with thoughts of us that they are tortured with. Sound good?
Yes, sir!
That's what I like to hear. But I got a word of warning for all you would-be warriors. When you join my command, you take on debit. A debit you owe me, personally. Each and every man under my command owes me 100 Nazi scalps. And I want my scalps. And all y'all will get me 100 Nazi scalps, taken from the heads of 100 dead Nazis. Or you will die trying.
And I was discussing it with my wife, and she said, well, if it's going so well, why don't you play the part? And coming from her, I gave it more thought than I normally would have done, I suppose. And it seemed quite a good idea after all these years. This is, I think, maybe 3 years ago. Right? I'm no good at memory in times of the past, but about then. And the moment I said, yeah, okay, I'll do it, there was a terrific furore with lawyers and what have you, because obviously there's a great deal of money involved. And that always attracts the lawyers.
Well, in fact, you had a tremendous amount to do with the overall production, probably more than certainly with any other Bond film, I imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a hand in the casting?
And they had a running battle, too, about a contract which had never been signed until a few weeks ago or something. And which was, you know, just the kind of Hollywood mess that I abhor. And I hate that kind of nonsense. And whether it be actors or executives. And a lot of the actual kind of Bondian elements that we had done were already in the picture, were out. So when got in the middle, it was going to be Kirshner was going to do one part, and Schwartzman was going to do another, and then Warner's were going to mediate, and we'd have still been cutting it, you know. And also Brandauer was going to be the sufferer because we had too much. I mean,
but Brandauer was very good, wasn't he?
Oh, he's marvelous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real performance. Yeah. You know, he's crazy.
I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Yes, heaven, I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week seems to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak. When we out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I'd love to climb to mountain, reach the highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I'd love to go out fishing in a river or a creek, but I don't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Now, mama, dance with me. I want my arms about you, the charms about you will carry me through. Yes, heaven.